teachers as a whole have limited experience in these situations. Your average teacher came from a pretty good home and went to a decent school, and so unless you have close friends or some family members who don't, like,
you don't know how to,
no,
you don't. And I think one population that is truly overlooked within any school system are the bus drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're picking these kids up every day. They see who's there at the bus stop waiting for them, waiting to pick them up, be there for them, seeing, the neighborhood, see who's there, supporting them. And they've been, we get calls, letting us know that there are kids that struggle. I've seen them in the same clothes for the last 4 days, So I think, it just takes somebody to not worry about whether or not they're going to offend a kid, asking them if they're okay at home, because that kid is so desperately wanting somebody to acknowledge that, I need help, and nobody's asking.
You're right. And it's actually a really good point. I mean, the bus drivers are probably in a good position to do that, because we're thinking about, you're driving through the community, you're seeing them on the way to or from school, but not in the classroom, so it's a different setting. I mean, a lot of different people drive buses, but I have some friends who either do now or at some point drove a school bus, and most of them are like really nice people who didn't do a lot of school. I mean, a few people are retired in this, but a lot of times, like, they didn't love school either, and so if anybody is going to see it and know it, your bus driver is more likely to notice or identify it than.
And you figure the bus drivers, they hear what's being said on the bus. They know where the bullying's starting. They know who the bullies are. They know who the kids that are being tormented. Yeah. I think they are a missed resource that any school system across the country does not utilize.
Yeah. Well, and that always turns into a budget question, right? Like right now, they're putting out 1 million ads for bus drivers, and you can't hire bus drivers because unemployment's low, so people are finding a less stressful job or a job that's similar work that pays better. And you're right, like that's sort of a resource beyond just the transportation. Like that's an extra adult, it's an extra set of eyes who sees them in that setting. How say for a bus driver, how do bus drivers in the county know about Mobile Hope? Like,
so
you put flyers in mailboxes in the transportation department?
We have 2 LCPS folks that drive for us. Okay. And then every other year, every 3 years or so, but we present to all the bus drivers. So they, when they have their annual meeting or their first meeting of the year or whatever, we go in and present to them as well. Okay. And then, just kind of word of mouth also. Yeah. But,